Hello there, Site 42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation community. And as always, welcome to another Dr. Sherman After Dark, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site 42. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director of Site 42, as well as Head Containment Specialist. And as always, once a day, whether it be for 30 minutes to 3 hours, I, for 6 months and extra time after that, the streak remains unbroken. Daily stream to bring you the news and intelligence about the mysteries of the SCP Foundation, as well as answer your burning queries. So if you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff who contain them, the groups of interest who get a rather miffed about the whole containment thing, or hypothetical containment procedures about entities that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview, perhaps they're from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom, I am here for the next question mark window of time to answer your queries. But before we begin, a little bit of housekeeping. First and foremost, new lab coat? No. New bathrobe. You see, we are extremely late today, meaning this is Dr. Sherman After Dark. And this is because last night's test is a bit of a blur and a lot of a disaster. You see, after our dear friends in the Containment Hazard Assessment team, you guys in the chat, one of you, I forget whom it was, whoever it is whose fault it is, I look forward to you revealing yourself. But you planted the seed of an idea in my head. The idea being, what if the tree, SCP-4521, would scream if you tickled it enough? Now, when I heard that in the Containment Hazard Assessment team, I thought it was poppycock. I thought it was a silly solution with no chance of success. But then the idea burrowed itself into the center of my brain. I could not forget about the tickle test. And so it had to be. I recruited 5 D-class personnel, 5 of the most hardened criminals, 5 death row inmates, and the 5 of them were forced into a room, and the 5 of them were told to tickle the tree. Now, I sat there watching these ruffians attempt to tickle a scream out of SCP-4521. But they were not capable of the proper tickle techniques. And so, I shooed those idiots out of the containment cell and I said, "This is how you tickle a tree!" And before I knew it, 4 hours had gone past. And then, of course, if it had already become 4 in the morning, why would I bother to go to bed? Why not continue until it was successful? Well, after another 4 hours, it was 8 a.m., and the tree had not screamed. I awoke in my dormitory. I don't know how I got there, but it was quite late when I awoke. And so here I am. A screamless tree and a sleepless night later. And so, hello. I do have better news. I have better news, but before that better news, I must go through a bit of housekeeping. Legendary Doge Official, thank you for being the most punctual chatter of all. Congratulations on being first to today's stream. Meanwhile, Bombus ADHD, Junior Researcher Sally, Clone 3786, Soda Paws, Notorious A Gaming, Amber, Scarlet Fox, Kaiser, Dr. Puppeteer, Titanborn, AA Blackwood, Zerdrin, Aoki, Mig Keel, everyone whom I have just named alongside Dark Duality, thank you for being punctual to today's stream, and thank you for being members of the channel. Site42 appreciates your membership and your service, as well as you, Notorious Gaming. Can't miss you. Thank you for being here as well. And on top of this, a big Site42 hello to Junior Researcher HLG, Vincent, Dark Red, Zombie Cat, and Forest Eye. Thank you all for being here punctually, and thank you for being here just for being you. Desk, good to see you active and ready. Ah, yes, I told you all I had 2 new shirts, and this is the second of the new pretties. Again, never buy full price if you can find a way to hack the clearances. Again, a $120 shirt for $15 is a pretty good deal. I'm about to pop some tags. I've got $20 in my pocket, one might say. Furthermore, Slavki, thank you for your 1-month member message as a level 1 researcher. We appreciate your membership and your service here at Site42. Hi, I'm a sleeper agent that gets awakened to watch. Oh, okay. So you're a sleeper agent for the Foundation, but you only get awakened to participate in the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. That's interesting. Perhaps the Foundation is allocating me some more resources to have more Containment Hazard Assessment Team members. A very worthy goal. Furthermore, Dr. Puppeteer, thank you for your first donation of today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a taquito on your way past the commissary. Out of character, I'm going to make Dr. Puppeteer in her final form. By the way, spider portalists or spider hybrids. Who wants to see her in that form? I don't want to see anything in a spider manner. I just don't want it. It's not what I'm here for. Clone, thank you for your 6-month member message as an overseer here at Site42. Not only your membership and your service, but your leadership, your guidance to help Site42 win the battle against the white names is legendary, and we appreciate your service. Howdy, Dr. Sherman. Been a while since I've been able to catch a stream, so I hope everyone's been well. Prepping to officially move into the apartment with my fiancée tomorrow, wish us luck, we'll probably need it. Hey, good luck on your move. Good luck indeed. The Site 42 community will form a non-anomalous spirit bomb of good energy for you. Please do not perform an actual spirit bomb. That is anomalous and not within Foundation regulations. Please. Prime Motion, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Terragal, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some sausage links on your way past the commissary. So another bet won because the tree hasn't screamed. Woo, those researchers who always think she'll get the tree to scream has Keter duty. Lol. Betting against me in my own house is completely legal, but that doesn't mean I like it. You're on thin ice. Dark Duality, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a macchiato on your way past the commissary. The animation I'm making is slowly coming along. Yes! Animate! Do it! Art! Make it! Dr. Pepper Dragon, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a cherry turnover on your way past the commissary. Hey boss, sorry been busy. Bill's still stuck in the Walker Texas Ranger box set, and we keep having to rewatch it since he keeps missing his exit. That can be very difficult. I mean, getting past the whirlwind of kicks is a difficult prospect, I admit. So yes, take all the time you need. I'm glad you could make it to the stream, but get Bill out of there quickly. Now, there are two subjects I wish to speak about on today's stream, the first of which will begin now. This is the silly mode subject, which is, I am dropping a document in the announcements of the Site 42 Discord server. And this document is quite silly in concept. Some of you might have an idea with which I speak, but this is making it official. Upon pressing this enter button, yes, I'm going to tag everyone in the server. This is that important. I will now read the announcement to you. Attention at everyone. By complete accident, Dr. Sherman has streamed enough this year to qualify for the Streamer Awards. Due to this, he has made the frankly insane decision to throw his hat into the ring. Will he win? Probably not. Will it be funny to make the judges have to look up what Site 42 and the SCP Foundation are? Hell yes, it will. Please head to the streamerawards.com/nominations and vote for Site 42, SITE-42, the channel name. Do not vote for Dr. Sherman or Dr. Theron Sherman. We do not want to split the votes. But vote for Site 42 in the following categories with which we qualify. Best Roleplay Streamer. This is the one I'm iffy about because it's in its subject talking about games and role-playing within games. And I roleplay on stream, but I don't play games while I roleplay. I just act like an SCP doctor for hours at a time for your amusement. Now, where I should qualify much more clearly, the Hidden Gem Award for streamers who have less than an average 300, I think it is, concurrent viewers, which we normally average between 50 and 150. So we are hidden gem material. Best vertical live streamer. As you can see, we are vertical. Therefore, we qualify. Best just chatting streamer. I don't play games. I don't react to videos or stuff very often. I am just yapping for hours on end. And finally, League of Their Own, a category for people who are doing their own thing. And how many SCP Foundation roleplay streamers are there out there? Because I believe it to only be one. So let's see if the Site42 community can make some waves for the glory of the SCP Foundation community. Thank you for your votes. Secure, contain, protect. So yes, the link is currently in the Discord server as well as the suggested categories. If you cannot enter the Discord server, then go to the proper website and read this stream for the categories you should enter in, or use your best judgment. And make sure to vote for Site42 specifically. Let's force some random streamers and their friends to look at us and go, what the hell are they doing over there? Thank you, Site42 staff. Go out there and have fun. Desk, it's Site-42, not Site_42. Let's not split the vote due to typos. SITE-42. Look at the YouTube channel title and not its @ signal. Thank you for listing the categories. Wasn't sure which ones to use. Exactly. I want to be clear about this. There are plenty that we should not do, but we can be nominated for multiple. And so I have picked the 5 that we qualify for. Roleplay streamer, hidden gem, vertical, just chatting, and League of Their Own. Let us sillily try to make waves in the streaming landscape for the honor of the SCP Foundation. A couple more donos came in. Let me get those before the next subject. Dr. Puppeteer, thank you for donating again. Why am I sleeping in a grave? I feel like a zombie spider portalist. I'll ask my creator for her to draw me as a zombie spider portalist so I can scare y'all before Halloween. I cannot emphasize to you enough how much I don't need pictures of spiders in my Discord server. I just don't need it. It's not necessary. It's not wanted. Soul Hunter, thank you for your 6-month member message as a level 1 researcher. We appreciate your membership and your service. Wah. You know, I agree. Wah. Billy the Go-Go, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some corn dogs on your way past the commissary. I have voted, but also late stream, I was getting worried. Yes, late stream, I had a very late night/morning. But the streak is still strong. Amber, you've got a good point. Tomorrow in the afternoon, I will put the announcement about the Streamer Awards into the YouTube community note. More people are active in the daytime, so I'll do it then. Kiwiki the Goober, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Get yourself a waffle cone on your way past the commissary. If SCP-3812 saw SCP-096, could 096 catch it? No. 3812 ascends all narrative boundaries. Its reality bending is therefore the highest tier. 096 could not get close to 3812. I'm putting something in the chat real quick. Please read my comment that I put in the chat. My user handle is site_42. But what I typed is SITE-42. Site-42 is what you put in the nomination for the Streamer Awards. That is what you want to type for the Streamer Awards. No underscores, no Dr. Shermans. If you need help, look at the title of our YouTube channel, because our YouTube channel's title is Site-42. If there's an @ symbol, you're looking at the wrong thing. Dark Duality, thank you for donating to ask that question, and I'm going to continue to say it several times because I'm sure that people will need the clarification. Desk did the right message. Please use Site-42 to vote for the Streamer Awards. Site-42, Site-42, one word, Site-42. Thank you to everyone who is saying that they just voted in the Streamer Awards nominations. Nominations end, I think it's November 8th, but that means we've got a couple days to spread the word. We got like a week and a half to spread the word and see if we can get people in there. It will be very funny if we get some sort of mention or correspondence from the Streamer Awards. And if they message me anything, I'll tell you what the deal is. Oh, what a night for this. SCP-729-J. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Why don't you grab yourself some fried pickles at the commissary? Well, hello, Doctor. Late night tonight. Yes, it is a late night tonight. So, we have one more subject to speak about tonight before I revert to a fully complete Q&A stream for however long I feel like I can survive. And that subject is the stream title. The stream title: we're just normal men and women and non-binaries and anomalies. What's that about? Well, Site-42 staff, I want you first and foremost to know, I'm mostly, almost unanimously, not talking about you with the subject. Because fortunately for me, Site-42's Containment Hazard Assessment Team, i.e. Site-42's fans, are some of the best damn fans on the internet. Our little community is almost unanimously not guilty of the crimes I want to bring attention to, but I feel like for those of you who might need to hear this, I can put this out into the ether to help make a better world. So frankly, the we, who I'm speaking of being just normal men, being women and non-binaries and anomalies, all normal to a lot of them. Even the anomalous are normal in this sense. It's that when someone is a public figure in any way, you gotta treat them like they're normal, man. It happens all the time. Someone gets a little bit of fame and then people start treating them differently, and they start treating them like they're not normal people you could talk to on the street, and they start going overboard. And the kind of overboards you gotta watch out for. People start stalking creators. People start, I don't know, finding their business phone number and calling them unprompted multiple times. People ask around through your Discord server and or friends to see if they have, quote, dick pics from their favorite creator. That's not normal. And so I feel the need to make a reminder. I'm a regular starving artist Joe like most of us. I'm just a little bit older. I've had a little more time to work on my craft. And I've had some very lucky situations that have allowed me to become more prominent than your average artist. But I am still a normal guy. And this also goes for all of the other content creators in the spaces out there. And now here's the funny thing. I, being an older gent, at least in internet years, being someone who always wanted to be in film, always wanted to be in the arts, a performer, I've spent years knowing stuff like this was going to happen and mentally preparing myself. Now, that doesn't mean it's acceptable. That doesn't mean I'm asking for it. That doesn't mean other creators that it's acceptable or they are asking for it because they got famous. Just because you know something might bad happen and you prepare for it, doesn't mean it's then okay to do it. Yeah? Yeah, you get me? But here's a secondary thing to think about. Sometimes people are not prepared to be famous. Sometimes people get famous by complete accident and random chance. I don't know. Maybe by writing silly fan fiction stories on the internet and becoming a well-known author when all you thought you were writing were cheesy creepypastas. And so people start taking your work too seriously. They start taking you too seriously. They start digging into your life when you did not invite that, nor expect anyone to ever want to do it, so you didn't have any defenses for it. At the end of the day, every single celebrity, creator of any sort, were just normal men or women or non-binaries or anomalies. And so please, for the love of all of the Jesus we have in containment, in the name of Milk Jesus and Bread Jesus and Vor Jesus and Uber Driver Jesus and Cock Block Jesus, all the Jesus we have in containment, whether it's to myself or another creator of other types, we're just normal men. Please, treat us like normal men. You get me? You get me? That's all. Just remember, I mean, we all saw Twitch and the Emiru situation. That's another. No. She's just a normal woman. You don't do that to someone you see on the street. Why would you do it to her? And to be fair, I've gone through enough, but not as much as most people. Still, people should not do that. And so that's my statement. I am glad, as I thought in my chat, everyone understands completely, because again, the Site 42 Containment Hazard Assessment Team is not really who that message is for. It is for the people who see this downstream. And yes, Amber, for inquiry, I am 100% okay. I am in the clear right now. I am good. I am just speaking of this because things have moved me to do so. So, with that, with my comfy, cozy bathrobe and my anomalous fluid on hand, we are 30 minutes into a stream which I do not know how long it will last. So, let us Q&A. Terragal, thank you for donating again. 729 is funny because that is how old this dragon is in human years, and I think 729 is adorable after all. It's just a little bean. I don't exactly remember what 729 is. SCP-729, codename Marble Bath, is a large bathtub carved from marble. The item's properties were discovered by accident during a police reconstruction of a suspected murder-suicide in a redacted state. It was retrieved by undercover Foundation agents. It has been described as extremely relaxing, to the point where individuals using it for this purpose must be encouraged to leave by external force. So it is a bath that is so comfortable that you stay in it until you die? I don't know how 729 could be considered a cute bean, but hey, I mean, dragons have taste, so that's that. I'm not gonna yuck your yum on that one. Gold Heart, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a beveragino on your way past the commissary. Hello, Dr. Sherman. Managed to get away from a Wiccan cult. Can confirm the gods are talking back. Yes, they are hunting me. Yes, it is the Greek gods. The Wiccans are talking about and to the Greek gods? How peculiar. Well, first, get out of danger, and then we'll talk about that situation when you return to base. SCP-729-J. Thank you for donating again. I believe Terragal may have been referring to me. And then Terragal, thank you for donating again to affirmate that thing's terrible query that you meant that thing. Now I am yucking your yum. How? How in the world could you consider that thing a, quote, adorable little bean? That monstrosity! That disgusting thing! It's okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. Mutually Assured Destruction, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. make sure to grab yourself a taco on your way past the commissary. I'm getting really scared. SCP-2399 is at 85%. Really? Already? That's shocking to me. 2399. Security database. Percentages. Control and carry the 2. No. That. All right, well, if it is at 85% like you say, then we are going to need to engage Protocol Legionnaire 5 for this scenario. Hold on. Yes, so I guess this is the time to activate the Legionnaire. So, yes, I guess we're late. So start activating Project Legionnaire 5, or Protocol Legionnaire 5. Now, immediately. Time check. We are 37 minutes into what is a uncertain length stream. An uncertain length stream. We are gliding on the wings of mystery tonight. Pickle Epic. That's mutually assured destruction. I'm sorry if I'm getting names wrong. YouTube is literally showing me sometimes your @ symbols and sometimes your display names. It's really hard to keep track of. YouTube is making this very difficult. We can't be sure of anything, but we have to do what we can and hope for the best. Building Block, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a turkey leg on your way past the commissary. Your situation reminded me of SCP-1841-EX. I am not familiar with this classification. 1841-EX. Listomania. Referred to public press as Listomania, is the most curious case of public behaviors. Yes, I completely agree with your assessment, Building Block. This does happen a lot, but we can always raise awareness and make sure that more people know not to be stupid, to, quote fellow YouTuber and Tampa liver Philip DeFranco. Gold Heart, thank you for donating again. They aren't happy I escaped. I had the gods help me for some reason. Hermes and Apollo. Don't know why. I'm hiding in the mountains. Could I get a mobile task force unit? Well, we need to deal less with an MTF and more of a discreet escape unit. We need a quick pickup is what we really need for you. Get you out of there rather than engage in a full-fledged fight. Oh, wait a minute. Building Block. Yeah, you sent me an email explanation for your question that I couldn't answer. So I'm going to answer this real quick so we can clarify. My apologies for the confusion in the last stream. My understanding is to make a fan SCP, you put OC at the end of its designation. For example, SCP redacted -OC. So yes, that is a casual rule that I have said people should do to make sure that their OC SCPs do not get mixed in with canon SCPs and therefore confused. And so doing SCP-OC-number or SCP-number-OC, either one, Lets people know that you're not talking about a canon SCP. Now, if you were to make a fan SCP based on a popular IP like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! For example, SCP Yu-Gi-Oh!-OC, description. SCP Yu-Gi-Oh!-OC is a popular children's card game under the name Duel Monsters. Its anomalous properties manifest when operated by certain persons of interest. Effects include, but not limited to, stealing souls from opponents, banishment to the Shadow Realm, summoning creatures that resemble the monsters depicted in the cards, etc. So, there is no such classification on the wiki of having a name like that for like an entire IP. What you would be doing is you'd be making an SCP OC number, but that OC number would be for a fan SCP about Yu-Gi-Oh! So you'd have SCP number dash OC, description, it is the IP Yu-Gi-Oh! That's all you would do. I hope that clarifies things for you, Building Block. Why does bro look like my math teacher if she had a mustache? Well, intern Bar, I must assume you have a very handsome math teacher. There are plenty of handsome women out there. And very pretty boys, too. Why do trees need to scream? Is the tree that doesn't scream a danger? Intern France. SCP-4521 is the only tree on Earth that doesn't scream. In real life science, trees scream when you break their branches. Flowers scream when you rip their petals off. Blades of grass scream when you mow your lawn. It's all at a frequency we can't hear, but it's still screaming. 4521, on the other hand, is the only one that doesn't scream. Does that seem right to you? No. And we need to fix it. Amber, you are correct. We currently have more likes than viewers. Congratulations, Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codenamed the Signal Boosters. Your like button hitting has caused the YouTube algorithm to bring us to a new level of ascension, where more civilians will be brought into our channel. They'll see the might of the SCP Foundation at play and go, wow, we really got to be part of this. And that is how we grow the SCP Foundation Coalition. So thank you, Mobile Task Force Psi-42, for your service and valor. Continue hitting that like button. Let's bring in those numbers. Gold Heart, thank you for donating again. Got teleported somewhere. Hear a lot of hissing. Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes? Who wins? Gym Look or Cake by the Ocean? Well, Real Neptune, and thank you for being a member. The Gym Look is literally just a DVD. So by default, it's not winning any fights. Especially against an entity that seems to, well, it seems like it's fattening up children and then eating them. So it seems like it's a, it seems like more of an issue there. Dr. Pepper Dragon, thank you for donating again. Hey boss, Bill's coming up on his WTR exit. If he misses again, I'm going to steal an intern because I need a break, and everyone else has given up on him. Yeah, get Bill out of there, man. It's going to be bad otherwise. Do what you gotta do. Finish the mission. Goldheart, thank you for donating again. Yeah, it's not snakes. Worse. Please send Mobile Task Force. Well, my question is, what Mobile Task Force do you need? For what purpose? They're all very highly specialized. So if we don't send the right team, we might not get you. So I need to know the situation you're in before we can get to the proper Mobile Task Force to send to aid in your escape. Rat of the East, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a Chica Cherry Cola on your way past the commissary. And thank you for your generous lizard donation. Are there other stories that involving researchers that plot against the O5 Council? It's for no particular reason whatsoever, I promise. Well, I believe what you're looking for, at least, is DJ Cactus's third proposal. DJ Cactus's proposal number 3 seems to be what people are talking about in a someone runs around killing the entire O5 Council genre. That would be where I would begin based on internet chatter. Are you sure? Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a caramel apple on your way past the commissary. What's the hardest dance combo you've ever learned? I believe that would be the time where I was part of a K-pop dance crew and we decided to do Sherlock by Shiny. That was a pretty rough dance. You can find the video for Sherlock by Shiny, and then you could try to figure out, oh boy, yeah, that was pretty rough. Triples, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a sensu bean on your way past the commissary. Just curious, do the numbers in my username have an SCP attached to them, or is it an unclaimed number? They were random when I got it. Well, Triples, while I appreciate you donating to ask me, you can just go to the SCP Wiki and look up SCP, what is it, 3273? 3273. And SCP-3273 on the official SCP Wiki is Self-Performed Brain Editing Manual is the code name. SCP-3273, referring to a single instance, is a plain container of prescription painkiller tablets for swallowing and ingestion. Chemical analysis reveals that it is a form of opioid drug. Packaging of all instances is printed with dosage information, refers to it as Self-Performed Brain Editing Manual, and advises the users only to take it if they, quote, have a drill. After 35 minutes of ingestion, the affected individual will begin to experience a gradual loss in all physical sensations of pain. Distress from physical injuries, lacerations, and burns will become increasingly difficult for 3273-1 to notice or register. A single tablet should be capable of preventing an adult male from recognizing any form of injury within 2 hours. It is highly addictive. Significantly higher addiction rate than substances such as heroin. Most people overdose within 3 days following initial exposure. People who overdose will experience a gradual inversion of pain lasting 24 hours. Instances will discover the experience of pain now induces sensations of emotional calm and satisfaction. Oh boy. Alright, well, I don't like where that's going, but suffice it to say, the answer is yes. Gold Heart, thank you for donating again. At this point, just send Cain and Abel. Cain and Abel barely get along as is. I'm not sending the both of them. I'm gonna send you... If you're dealing with Chimera and Hellhounds... then we want a mobile task force that deals with beasts. Ada 11, codenamed Savage Beast, specializes in investigation, acquisition, and containment of auditory and musical anomalies. So that's Savage Beats, not Savage Beasts. Why is it called that? No, that's not a good idea. Green Stags, Minutemen, Frontrunners, Rolling Thunder Village, Idiot, Forget Me Not, Fire Eaters, Mole Rats, Bird Watchers, Kink Shamers, Debuggers, Ghostbusters, Hogtown Garrison, Plague Tamers, maybe the Witch Hunters? Nah, they really deal with Sarkics. I mean, Sarkics are kind of monsters, but eh. Street Samurai! No, they... Well, they don't normally fight in cities. What they do is they have anomalous weaponry, armor, and vehicles. Omega 45, the Street Samurai are heading your way. That's good enough. Drowsy! Welcome back to Level 1 Researchership. It's been a while. Good to see ya. Hello again. Sorry, life has been cray-cray. Oh, trust me, life has been cray-cray. But I hope you're doing well. Wave Wraith, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a pudding pop on your way past the commissary. Thoughts on teams exploring the back rooms? Well, if we can get them in, those async jerks have been bogarting the anomaly, and they won't let us in. So yeah, I would send in the Mole Rats, obviously. They're better with contained spaces and things like that. Triples, thank you for gifting a Site 42 membership to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. If you got that membership, make sure you thank Triples for their generosity. Are there any weather SCPs like hurricanes or tornadoes? Well, we could consider... I believe it's SCP 3300? Yes, SCP-3300 is a rainstorm that happens annually in Clearwater, Montana, in which the rainstorm erases and replaces the population of the entire city once a year. So yes, there's an anomalous rainstorm for you. Have you read the webcomic The Glass Scientists? I think you'd like it. The creator did storyboarding for Gravity Falls. I have never heard of it, but you have my intrigue. Goldheart, thank you for donating again. Street Samurai are here. Yeah, I don't think it's working. They're getting obliterated. Again, recommend 073 or 076. Need something immortal. The Street Samurai got obliterated with their weaponry. I'm a bit worried that this is some sort of a trap now. And that you're trying to get a hold of Cain and or Abel for nefarious purposes. The Street Samurai are exceptionally competent and well armed. I am a little worried about what you think's going on. Besides, Abel is not immortal. Abel dies all the time and then respawns from its sarcophagus after a time. Just send Samsara at this rate. Honestly, intern Gooberdeath, yeah, Samsara seems like an actually great idea. A little ashamed I didn't think about it earlier. I goon to SCPs. No you don't, cool guy, because you are banned from the facility for attempting to fraternize with the anomalies. And sharing your perversions across the internet is not proper manners. Hashtag annoyed and asexual. SCP, if SCP-069 looked in a mirror, would it kill itself? Well, SCP-069 just is a guy who takes over the body of anybody who has died nearby them. And so, no? I guess 069 would just look in the mirror and then go on with its day? Who wins, What I Did for Love or Cake by the Ocean? Well, again, What I Did for Love, there is no anomaly there. It was a researcher scamming the facility. So I would assume in a fight, again, the entity from Cake by the Ocean, which is in fact an actual entity, would win. The first SCP, in term Mary Bard, Mary Mibardi, whatever your intern name is there. The first SCP was SCP-173, created all the way back in the distant year of 2007. It was written on the X board of 4chan, and it inspired so many other SCPs to be written that they moved the community off-site so it wouldn't clog up the board. And now we're here. 18 years later, oh my god, the SCP Foundation can get its driver's license. Don't tell Dr. Gerald. Goldheart, thank you for donating again. It's immortal beasts. The Minotaur is ripping them in half. Chimera got turned to gold dust and came back 2 minutes later. They're all being torn apart. Oh, I see what's happening. No. See, you don't understand the scenario. The Street Samurai are using shadow clone jutsu. They are distracting and wearing out the anomalies because you see, they might be immortal, but they still need calories to act. They're going to get tired and die of unconsciousness. Not die, but like pass out. So no, the street samurai are succeeding at this. Trust me, the shadow clone jutsu goes hard. Dr. Pepper Dragon, thank you for donating again. Bill missed his exit. I got an intern watching him and swapping discs. I'm leaving the sub levels for the first time in 3 weeks. Is 294 still here? Oh, let me check the requisitions sheet. I missed the entirety of today, so I don't even know. 294. Has been shipped off to Site 87. So just go get whatever you need from the commissary. Dragon Force Leader. On Site 42 grounds, we do not speak about the doctor known as Dr. Bright. For more information on why this is a breach of our rules, there's a video on this channel called The Last Death of Dr. Jack Bright. It is why we and most of the SCP community have completely deleted Dr. Bright from their stories and from existence. So, yeah. It's against the rules to talk about Dr. Bright here. You probably didn't know that. A lot of the offsite community doesn't. Check out that video I told you about for more information, a quick summary. And then there's links to even more information if you want a deep dive. I need to catch up for real. Yeah, it do be like that. The SCP website, the SCP Wiki, has something around 2,000 authors and probably about 5,000 to 10,000 members total. And then the SCP fandom is millions of people. So unless you frequent the website, you probably haven't heard anything about this. In fact, if you frequent the website, you probably still haven't heard anything about this. It's a trickling drama. And so yes, anytime someone says the phrase, "we don't talk about Bruno" at Site 42, we're talking about Bright. Site 42 staff, we are currently at the hour mark for this questionable length stream. Therefore, I'm just going to remind you that Site 42 is currently nominating itself for the Streamer Awards. If you go to the Streamer Awards, you can nominate Site 42 for 5 categories of streaming. Best Roleplay Streamer, Hidden Gem Award, Best Vertical Live Streamer, Best Just Chatting Streamer, and League of Their Own. So you can submit yourself, or you can submit your votes for specifically SITE-42, not an underscore, a dash, not Dr. Sherman or Dr. Theron Sherman. The channel name, Site 42. We have streamed enough to qualify. It would be very funny if we got noticed. I don't think we'll win, but I think they'll have a laugh seeing an SCP streamer try and enter the fray. Let's make some waves, people. This stream is sponsored by our award push. Woo! Pardon. Is the SCP Foundation a real thing? Intern Corda. Nobody who plays games and writes about SCPs or even acts as an SCP researcher pretends that the SCP Foundation is real. If you ask if it's real, we break character immediately, or at least I do, and inform people it's not real. We break kayfabe because back in the days when creepypasta was very popular, some kids thought Slender Man was real and stabbed their friend because they thought Slender Man told them to. So no, the SCP Foundation is not real. It is a creative writing community and fandom. What you drinking? Oh, Old Man Gerson. Good to see a fellow old in the chat. We are currently drinking some something Taylor bourbon. We're trying a new bourbon. It has been an anomalous beverage kind of day. Please drink responsibly if you drink at all. Don't drink if you shouldn't drink. Or if you are unaged, which means you shouldn't drink. Dr. Knight, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a piece of peanut bark on your way past the commissary. Dr. Knight memo. Dr. Sherman, I don't know if this is your doing, but someone is mass-producing anomalous fortune cookies about a certain tree. But listen, if the fortune cookies pay off, then maybe it'll scream. Did you think of that? Did you think of that? Did you think of that? What was the first site? Well, I believe the first site is mentioned in the SCP-173 article. Item SCP-173 is to be kept in a locked container at all times when personnel enter its container. Moved to Site 19, 1993. Site 19 is the first SCP site that was ever written. Do you know about the Bismarck doc? Intern Dragon Force. I am quite familiar with the Bismarck. It is actually one of the most well talked about famous SCPs that isn't just a simple murder monster. I mean, I guess it is just a simple sea creature inside a boat shell. But it isn't just Peanut or Shy Guy again. So Bismarck is pretty popular in that way. If your typical person generally doesn't know tree scream in real life, myself included at one point, what's truly the point of containing SCP-4521? It's not like civilians would notice. Intern Chief, that is actually not true. We got reports of a, quote, ear-piercing silence that alerted us to SCP-4521. It was noticed by the public, which is why we had to contain it. The trees are always screaming, you just can't hear them. I know, scared gamer. The problem is this one tree doesn't scream. That's what's so messed up. Ear-piercing silence, how does that work though? When you hear it, you know it. For instance, if you go into a certain type of acoustically treated room, there is so much silence, there is so much non-echo in the room that people will start hearing their own heartbeat in their heads and they will start going crazy. Look up quiet room insanity. It's a whole thing. And so yeah, it's just something that's making that happen outside of the acoustic room, clearly. Dr. Sherman, after the incident, I was demoted to D class from an 055. Please help. D class Daichi. The sheer miracle of watching an 05 get demoted to D class is a sight to behold. And you must have had it coming. Dr. Knight, thank you for donating again. I did, actually, and if you have a bonsai tree, prepare for it to begin flinging personal insults the next time you trim it. Not worth it. Oh, that's rude. That's not what I wanted to happen. Man. Back to the drawing board. Should the Absolute Solver be considered an SCP for murder drones? No, because it is not from SCP. The SCP community does not allow entries that are already existent somewhere else. That's why Freddy Fazbear and Siren Head cannot be SCPs. Now, they are anomalous entities, and they are cool off-site stories, but they can't be SCPs because they're not original to SCP. That feeling when SCP-173 multiplies into hundreds of copies and Dr. Sherman has to sacrifice himself, transform into a biblically accurate angel, and serve as a one-man panopticon to save researchers. Man, that was a wacky universe, man. Glad we are not in that universe. That does not look fun. Where did you learn pen spinning from? 049? 049 doesn't spin pens. 049 kills people, makes zombies, eats hot chip, and lies. I taught myself to pen spin because I thought it was fun. You saw nothing. Where'd the hot chip come from, though? More importantly, Zerdrin, how does it eat the hot chip considering that its mask covers its mouth, meaning it can't eat? Particularly strange, I would say. Particularly strange. One might even say anomalous AF, mate. Because look at this. Look at this. Look at this X-ray. The mouth is inside the mask. I don't even know how it opens its mouth to talk. What is that biology? What do you mean? What do you mean? Anomalous AF, mate. I've had a few theories on the identity of Dr. Gears. I came down to a piece of McCain, a random ultra-powerful reality bender, or the Scarlet King. Any thoughts on my hypotheses? Well, I need more information on how you reach such disparate thoughts here. You've reached three very different conclusions. I would like to hear about the evidentiary threads that led to each one to assess their perchance of being real. Hearing him use slang is like hearing my dad use slang. Well, indeed, Intern Lynn, that is no cap fam. For real, not for play, Holmes. I tricked 049 into a bunny outfit. Don't ask how, it was difficult, but I succeeded. Correct. Getting it to alpha change is much easier when we just shove it into the cat-made waifu dimension. That makes 049 change in a lot easier fashion, to be sure. What time do you start your stream? Intern 0, our streams start at random times. Sometimes it starts at 11 in the morning. Sometimes it starts at 7 o'clock at night. You never know. What even is the cat-made waifu dimension? Is it a dimension where evolution favors cat-maids, or does it mutate everyone who enters it into a cat-maid? The latter. The latter. It's like going into flat world and everything's now flat, or going into watercolor world where you walk in and now you're watercolor. Have you ever done Into the Woods? I have not performed in Into the Woods before. Not on my resume. Dr. Sherman, what happens when someone looks at 055 but they don't forget? Is there any specific things that happens? Well, I wouldn't know. No one has ever succeeded at that, so I'd love to find out. Rebel Commander, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a bowl of queso and some nachos on your way past the commissary. The tree cannot scream, that's its anomalous ability. You're close. The tree is not screaming, that's its anomaly. Also, it has a healing factor. We branded it with a hot iron, and the next day it had healed, like it never happened. That's pretty anomalous in and of itself, let alone the not screaming thing. Would it be better if I ranted about Dr. Gear's lore in the Discord that led me to these thoughts? I have like a 5-page Google Doc on Dr. Gear's lore. Gears is my special interest. Well, I can't promise to read 5 pages of lore. I am very busy off stream. But what I can tell you is, have you considered looking at our video on the channel, Dr. Gears Declassified? We've done our own lore breakdown of Dr. Gears and his many iterations across the SCP Wiki ourselves, if you haven't seen it. Intern Frit Z, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Time check. We are currently 80 minutes into a question mark length stream. We are here until I lose the ability to be here. That's just the way Dr. Sherman After Dark goes. Can adolescents go to ballroom dance classes? I feel like it'll be awkward if there's only old people, but my boyfriend can't dance at all. Anyone can go to ballroom dance classes most of the time. Sometimes there are kids classes, sometimes there are elderly classes, but most of the time it's all ages. Check with the instructor of the class you're going to and they'll let you know. Because yes, especially when you are young, you should start learning to dance so that you have time to develop the skill. Rhythm, by the way, just so you know, everyone out there who says, oh, I don't have rhythm. Rhythm is not something natural that you're born with. Rhythm is a language. Music is a language, just like any other language. You learn it when you're young, you learn it faster. And then you learn dance, physical motion, or any martial art when you're younger, and you get better at it faster because when you're younger, you learn things faster. So start sooner than later if you want to get good. I used to be a big SCP fan. It's been 5 years. What's new? Well, Dr. Ozzy, good to see you. Welcome back to the SCP community. Things have been going crazy around here. Even though there haven't been any large events, like when Containment Breach got really big and we had a huge influx of fandom, we have ever-growing membership numbers and more SCPs are being written every day. We just had the SCP-9000 contest within a year of the SCP-8000 contest, meaning over 1,000 SCPs were written in the last year. It's getting pretty crazy. Is Aperture Science anomalous because they are so bad at science? It is not anomalous to be bad at science, although they are working with anomalous technology. That is why they are a group of interest, not because they're bad at being a group of interest. Do you see SCP-1471? No, I was wise enough not to put that damned app on my phone. So many idiots. I've been a fan since 4chan, then I left the fandom for 5 years. Well, cool. Old schooler. Yeah, I only got into the community about 12 years ago, so it had already been around for 5 or 6 years before I showed up. Actually, your video brought my autistic self to the special interesting gears. I genuinely thank you for that. It's been so fun uncovering lore. Oh, well, I'm very glad to hear that. We should start work on the next declassified staff member. Maybe we'll go with a Clef next time. That would be that would be a big one. There's a lot of Clef lore. Oh boy. CC Diaries. Yes, I want the Clef lore. Haven't seen your user handle in the chat in a long time. Good to see you again. That video would be 10 hours long. I would not be shocked of that, yeah. Do you like your job? Well, my job as an SCP researcher is fulfilling and I'm protecting the world from anomalous threats, so I can't complain about that. And then teaching dance on the side is a wonderful way to help people stay fit and socialize because they're ballroom dancing, meaning they're dancing with other people, which means they are socializing. And so it's a win-win for both mental health, physical health, and social health. College suddenly started kicking my butt. I'm glad I can make this stream, though. Well, me too. I hope you've been doing well, and although college is kicking your butt, I hope you're kicking its butt right back. Can you catch the Mothman as an SCP? Intern Torres. The Mothman is already an SCP document. It's SCP-2901. Unfortunately, we are not able to contain it. Therefore, it is not... it's an SCP, but it's not contained. Right? Yes, yes. Old Man Gerson, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Go ahead and get yourself some Werther's Originals on your way past the commissary. And since you didn't send a message with your donation, simply thank you for your generosity. Did the Foundation find a cure to cancer? Well, that depends, intern operator. In the SCP-2700-EX universe, we actually canned a guy for trying to cure cancer, since it's not anomalous. Now, that being said, there are some anomalies that could cure cancer, but we're not going to show that to the world. Therefore, maybe? Depends on the universe. There is no canon. I would send them, but $1 doesn't give you any super chat characters. Ah, yes, I forgot that it limits characters based on donation amount. That's funny. YouTube is so picky. YouTube limits super chats by characters, so you're paying more for more characters. Furthermore, it limits streamers in how many emotes they can have for the channel for members based on how many members there are. So the most emotes you can have is something like 60 around there, but you have to have 5,000 members to your channel to unlock that many. It's so weird. They're so picky. Does SCP-106 have PTSD? From what? All it does is run around killing people and smiling about it. I don't think it's particularly broken up about anything. What are you doing for Halloween? Well, I will be streaming, and then I will be, after that, hanging out around the home, having a quiet night, and giving candy to trick-or-treaters. What is your favorite SCP, Dr. Sherman? I always say my favorite SCPs at the end of stream. It's kind of a tradition around here. Now, today's strange because I don't know when I'm ending stream. Could be now, could be in 30 minutes, could be an hour. We're not sure. Late Night After Dark, Dr. Sherman is a confusing place full of mystery and surreality, and you gotta be worried about that. But if you want to cheat and get me to say so otherwise, you can donate and ask, and I'll do it then for that reason, in honor of the donation. Or you can just go back to yesterday's stream and skip to the end, because there, it was the end of stream, so I said it. It's a good way to cheat. Old Man Gerson, I'm glad you appreciate our videos very much. We're doing our best to make good contest. Good contest. Good content. Could there be SCP stronger than SCP-6101? Well, intern France, I mean, it literally says in the description that SCP-6101 is the most powerful SCP, so, I mean, can you really beat that? I'm not sure you can. You know what would be interesting? D&D campaign SCP things. I have done that before. In fact, before I was a content creator for the SCP community, I was just using SCP monsters in my D&D games. In fact, in my urban fantasy game, where my characters were all wizards and fae folk and things like that, because we were playing a game in the Dresden Files universe, I had the SCP Foundation kidnap and contain my players, and then I forced them into making a containment breach run and getting out of the site. And during that containment breach, they encountered multiple anomalies. So it was a pretty good time. Have you ever got attacked by an SCP? Well, plenty of times, but they haven't got me yet. Thank you to the Foundation Fitness Initiative. I have always been faster than the anomalies, and during my broken ankle era this last year, I haven't had to run from anything, thankfully. Did the players test the gender changing stone? They did not. That did not come up in the game. Have you ever thought about trying LARP? Your Signals videos were what actually inspired me to give it a try. So I have visited one time my college campus's Star Wars LARP, but I did not particularly stick around. I've always been rather busy with one thing or another. But I had some fun with the friends that evening. And other than that, I've got a lot of friends that do LARP, but it's just not something I've ever had the time to go into. Entered JXCSYT, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a slice of lemon meringue pie on your way past the commissary. I'm going to give you my first ever super chat. Well, thank you for your generosity and welcome to the world of super chatters. We appreciate you, and you are helping us to keep the lights on around Site 42. What if I became an 05? You'd hate that, I just know it. I'm putting that on my to-do list. You're right, Zerdrin. I would hate that. I know how you act when you're just an anomaly wandering the halls. What are you going to do with institutional power? I don't like it. I don't like it. Faker Under the Black Sun, thank you for your 1-month member message as a level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service, especially the help you're giving us to win the battle against the White Names. Have you heard of SCP-4966? Not off the top of my head, but let me take a good look here. 4966. Ah, Tubioka, the Devourer of Souls, Consumer of Secrets, Lord of Munchies. Yes, I am quite familiar with Tubioka. What a strange little anomaly. It eats a corpse. It is a stuffed animal that eats a corpse. And its body will return to its normal size, digesting the anomaly. Otherwise, it, like Kirby, becomes the corpse, becomes similar to the corpse that it consumed. And it remains that way for 4 hours. What would happen if it ate a dead SCP-966? So it ate a dead sleep killer? Well, it would probably turn invisible to the naked eye. And it might be able to put out those hunting sound waves that cause people to never be able to sleep again until they die. So let's not do that, shall we not? What is the number of the anomalous rainstorm again? I'm definitely interested in reading it. That's SCP-3300. SCP-3300 is the town with an anomalous annual rainstorm that melts and replaces the people of the town every year. Is it just me, or is the amount of dragons at SCP gone down recently? You know what? The dragons have been awfully quiet here at Site 42. But, you know, it comes in waves. Do you have any Gothic SCP recommendations? Well, not off the top of my head, but I can see what I can find in the database. Yeah, there's... There's SCPs that you could kind of change their theming to fit them in a gothic horror sense, but just by itself, I can't think of any off the top of my head. The Scared Gamer, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a plate of chicken wings on your way past the commissary. Dr. Henzoid, tell me to tell you, tag, you're it. Well, Henzoid and I will have to have an altercation then. Hopefully, this tag game doesn't take place near any easily fall downable sets of stairs. I'm going to grab all the SCP-173 fecal matter, and I'm going to pull a prank on the Chaos Insurgency. Intern Riser, the daily output of SCP-173's blood and fecal matter combination is 17 kilograms, or 37.5 pounds. Good luck mopping all that into a container you can use to transport. Ugh. How effective would SCP-173 be with a picture of 096 on its face? Intern Zero, you do know that you can look at 173's feet, right? Just look down. I feel as if this is kind of a common sense solution that you're just kind of ignoring. Do better. Hey, Dr. Sherman, what would happen if you used a telepath to put the image of 096 into someone's head? Would that count as seeing it? Yes, it would. The memory of 096's face is now in their head. They would die. This is very commonsensical. I think you could have worked out the answer to that on your own. No? No? Are you incapable? I don't believe that. I think you could have figured that out. Is 106 able to hurt 076? Yes. The old man is nigh invulnerable. So, yes. Easily. Site-42 staff, I have also made the decision that today's stream is ending in 19 minutes. I feel the end of stream coming, so you have 20 minutes to get your last questions in. Intern YouTube PC, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a key lime pie on your way past the commissary. So I accidentally looked at 096. Instead of killing me, it just put its hands on my shoulder and nodded at me. What does this mean? It means it's going to kill you, but only after making a dramatic meme reference. So look forward to the death. Dr. Gilbert, welcome to the Site 42 stream. Hope you enjoy your stay with us at the Foundation. Intern Yellow, on your next note. Amnesticizing someone who saw 096's face is not likely to fully erase the memory. It will likely remain somewhere in their subconscious, therefore they will still perish. Intern Soulmancer. SCP-682 doesn't get a daily walk. I don't know what you're talking about. We do not walk the murder lizard. What SCP is your favorite? Intern Davis. We will be ending stream in about 16 minutes, at which point I will tell you my favorite SCPs. It's a tradition around these parts to say that at the end. So if you can wait 16 minutes, you will know the answer. If you can't, you can go back to yesterday's stream and watch the ending. Hey, Dr. Sherman, why am I in a box? Well, you are clearly anomalous, therefore, box. Why is there multiple SCP-001s? In universe, it's to make sure that no one knows what the real one is. They're all proposals, and they all make it so people do not know what the actual 001 is for classification purposes. Outside of that canon universe, it is because giving one person the honor of being the first SCP slot would be too OP. And so we let everyone make proposals. That way, everyone gets to be SCP-001 in their own way. Dr. Sherman, I trapped an SCP-966 instance. How the hell do I kill it? Well, the sleep killers are pretty... I mean, they are just fleshy entities. You can just kill them through normal means. The problem is usually the finding them, since they're almost completely invisible, except for through certain wavelengths of light, or if you burn their flesh, which makes it visible. Or, you know, throw paint on them or something. So... yeah, you can just kill it as long as you don't let it hit you with the sound waves. Well, you could still, even if it hit you with the sound waves that cause you to never sleep again, you could still kill it before it kills you. But then you would die of exhaustion eventually. Doc, are you going to dress as a pirate on Halloween or something else? I need more idea for Halloween costume art. I do intend to dress as a pirate for Halloween, or I'm floating the idea of dressing as Elvis instead. One of my theater gigs, I was an Elvis impersonator for a little while. So I have a costume for Elvis. Bedazzles and everything. Has 049 been brought up to speed on modern germ theory? Yes, in fact. 049 is caught up with modern science, took to it very quickly. The problem is it won't give up on this whole pestilence thing, despite having no evidence for that sort of thing. Very annoying. Sean, thank you for coming to the stream and thank you for enjoying our content. We're still putting on the work. We are making sure the SCP fandom continues to grow because it's a cool place. Dr. Sherman, is it possible I can create a new Jesus? Don't worry, he'll be a chill dude. We're already containing 5 Gzi. Do we really need another one? I mean, yes, it's highly possible. We're halfway there with the Site-42 original non-canon Clown Milk Jesus. So, yeesh. What if the real SCP-001 is the friends we made along the way? Well, then, number one, you would need to put them in containment because they are an SCP. So, yes. Is that true? SCP-6324, huh? SCP-6324. That would be Series 7. Maybe the real SCP was the friends we made along the way is the code name for SCP-6324, which is a 1987 blank brand station wagon. It has continued functioning since its creation seemingly without repair, despite natural erosion. When 2 individuals are within the car and driven for over 30 minutes, an instance of -1 begins. During a -1 instance, it displays driving capabilities far beyond the usual of any other similar model or vehicle. These abilities include increased acceleration and braking power, the ability to make impossibly sharp turns, and increased durability to the point of near indestructibility. Individuals inside the vehicle during this event will tend to show certain changes to their personalities, including but not limited to poor impulse control, a strong desire to seek out new experiences, and an increase to any existing behavioral differences between them. Most of these effects end once the event completes, the one exception being an increased bond between the 2 affected individuals. This connection occurs despite any existing animosity they may have had. So it's a car that makes you go crazy with car powers and also makes you friends. SCP-6324. Maybe the real SCP was the friends we made along the way. Intern Augustriadi. Welcome to Site-42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Rebel Commander, thank you for donating again. Tree won't scream because it can't. That's its anomaly. It will. Full stop. It will. Why is SCP-096 shy? Well, the intern realm, have you seen its face? Well, no, okay, you haven't seen its face. Therefore, no. It's shy for a reason. Sean, we've been having a lot of spam about the 6-7 meme, which is why Desk is desking you. But for your information, SCP-067 on the wiki is a fountain pen, which takes control of your arm and writes your life story, even if you've forgotten details of it. It can also make you draw exceptionally talented art, even if you're not an artist. So therefore, there is an SCP-067 but the brain rot meme about a child saying 6'7" is not a canon SCP. Dr. Sherman, is Dr. Clef allowed to interact with 294? Well, sure. Clef is... the problem is that when Clef uses 294, it doesn't do anything out of the ordinary, because Clef is a reality sync that disables anomalies most of the time. And we are better for the fact until someone writes a -J about it. Titanborn, what if I told you that they already tried to write the SCP-67-J article? It didn't last very long. It got deleted and downvoted very quickly. But they tried. Oh, they tried. Intern Highsmith, welcome back. Good to see you in the chat. And I'm glad you enjoyed our stuff, and it's good to see you again. Site42 lives on past our 10-year anniversary as a YouTube channel. And for 6 months of daily streams, the streak continues strong. That fact does warm my cold, cold heart. I get it. Believe me, I have a video about it. That way I can explain to people what the real 067 is. But, you know, brain rot meme is going to brain rot meme. Give it a couple weeks, it'll blow over. The same way that Siren Head, being thought to be an SCP, eventually blew over as well. The Void, good to see you in the chat. It's been a while. Hope you're doing well. Likes are over double the viewers. They are. Congratulations on hitting that like button so much that it has doubled our viewer count. Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codenamed the Signal Boosters, you are extremely successful at gaming the YouTube algorithm by forcing it through threat of violence to bring new blood to the SCP community, one way or another. Trust me, people still think Siren Head is an SCP. Sorry you have to hear this. I know, but it's not as prominent now, and we're doing our best to battle the misconceptions as a channel. How long have you been streaming tonight, Dr. Sherman? We have been streaming for 1 hour and 55 minutes. We are in the last 5 minutes of stream tonight, so get your last questions in as you can. Meanwhile, reminder for those of you who are just joining us, we have officially thrown our hat into the ring for the Streamer Awards. Because of our 6-month streak of daily streams, we qualify for 5 categories in the Streamer Awards. And do we think Site42 is going to win? Probably not. But would it be really funny to make the judges of the Streamer Awards have to look into what Site42 and the SCP Foundation are? Very funny. And so Site42 is going to represent the SCP Wiki in the Streamer Awards. So, go to thestreamerawards.com/nominations and vote for Site42, SITE-42, not an underscore, not Site42 without a dash. We need the dash. And you can vote for us in 5 categories in which you should vote for us in 5 categories in which we qualify. Best Roleplay Streamer, Hidden Gem Award, Best Vertical Live Streamer, Best Just Chatting Streamer, and League of Their Own. If we can win any of these if we can win any of these Streamer Awards for the SCP Wiki, I will blow a gasket. I don't know, that would be crazy. But it is just funny enough to enter and make them have to look us up and be like, what the hell is an SCP? Would 096 be nice or not hurt a blind man? Well, it depends on how blind. If they are completely like in the dark blind, then yeah, 096 isn't going to bother them, but also it won't be nice to them. It doesn't do anything except sit there and cry. So it's not going to be nice to them, it's just going to not hurt them. But if they are just legally blind, but they can still kind of see, they will get got. Jonathan Peters, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself some Jell-O on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, the Sarkics are starting an intimacy cult. Why? I have no fucking idea. Oh, for fuck's sake. The flesh. Of course, the flesh is going to have a union of the flesh. That's actually not shocking at all, if not creepifying and gross. I'm not watching the footage of that. Desk is sharing the URL in the chat for those of you who still want to vote for Site 42 for the streamer rewards. Remember to check the spelling. Site-42. Site-42. Not Dr. Sherman, not Dr. Theron Sherman. We don't want to split the vote by having multiple people do multiple labels. Just Site 42, it's the name of the YouTube channel. Not our @ the name of the channel. I saw a message and then it disappeared in the chat. I'm trying to find it. Wait, you're the guy who was trying to figure out why trees scream, right? Close, Intern Highsmith. I already know that trees scream. I'm trying to make one particular tree, SCP-4521, scream because it doesn't scream. That's its anomaly, and we will fix it. And Site 42 staff. This is our last question, besides donations that come in during the outro. How do you make an SCP? I've always wanted to do it, but I don't know how to. Intern France. Go to the home page of the SCP Wiki, and on the left side sidebar, in the top left corner, under the social media links, there is the Getting Started section. It includes the Guide for Newcomers, Join the Site, Contribute, Frequently Asked Questions, and a Universe Hub. That is where you will get all the information for how to join the SCP community proper, and the guides to making your own SCP, at least the baseline. Start there. Now, Site 42 staff. At the end of stream, it's a tradition around these parts. I tell you guys my favorite SCPs. But of course, I'm not going to tell you that the SCPs that are my favorites are the ones I personally wrote. That would be cheating, of course. Narcissistic, even. But, if you decide that you want to read the SCPs that I personally wrote, you can go to the Sherm's author page in Site 42 Hub on the SCP Wiki. There, you can read the SCPs I personally wrote, as well as contributed voice lines or sound effects to. And while you're there on my author page, one tab over from the SCPs I wrote, there are some links. Some links that people are very interested in finding. But they just don't have the stamina, the determination, the skill, the smarts to find those links. But that's not you, Mobile Task Force Site 42. No. You are the intrepid adventurers who will find these links and get to the destination you seek. I believe it. And while you're at those links, you can become a Site 42 Patreon patron or YouTube channel member to donate to us monthly. You can become a Ko-Fire or a YouTube Super Chatter to donate to us one at a time. Either way, we appreciate direct donations. They help us keep the lights on. Furthermore, if you can't donate because you're part of the broke gang, and trust me, We get it. We're an arts community. Starving artists are a very common subject that we're well versed in. If you are part of the Broke Gang, do not worry, because as long as you are watching our videos and commenting, watching our streams and commenting and chatting in them, and of course doing the YouTube dance of liking, sharing, and subscribing, you are an honored member of Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codename the Signal Boosters. And because of your expert gaming of the YouTube algorithm to help us pull more people into the SCP fandom, we grow ever stronger in supporting the SCP Wiki and its authors, artists, animators, game devs, filmmakers, merch makers, etc. The more we work together as a community, the more SCP projects we will bring to life. And therefore I salute you, Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codename Signal Boosters, for your service. Now, without further ado, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on that last one, it is a bit of a rough read. Speed round. 3999-3043-008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, 5320, 8980. Content warning on that last one, it is a rough read. Site-42 staff, this has been Dr. Sherman, After Dark, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site-42. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video and or stream. At slow speed, we all seem focused. In motion, we seem wrong. In summer, we can taste the rain. And I want you to be free. Don't worry about me. And just like the movies, we play out our last scene. You won't cry. I won't scream. The credit song is Movies by Alien Ant Farm. Be safe, be well, and secure, contain, protect.